Hello, and welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. This one I call it, When Someone Hurts You, Say Thank You. You're thinking, what the heck are you talking about? It's like one of the most misunderstood quotes from the Bible that says, turn the other cheek. When someone, hurts you or whatever the case may be, turn the other cheek. And many people think that it implies to, if someone hurts you or whatever, then just turn the other cheek so that they can hurt you again or whatever, which makes no sense whatsoever. It's I guess it's a metaphor of saying that when darkness comes your way, turn the light. You see, shift the energy, you see, so that the darkness can dissipate. So what do I mean by that here? If we don't realize, we are never upset. As the lesson number 5 from A Course in Miracles, I'm never upset for the reasons I think. We're never upset for what others may have done to us. Because you have to remember, what we're pointing is to non-duality, and non-duality implies that there's no two, there's only oneness, there's only what is. Now within the world of illusion, within the experience that we seem to be living, when it appears as if there's a you and there's a me, that relating, so to speak, in a sense allows me to look at myself in the seeming other. What I mean by that is, when someone hurts you, I'm not talking physically, of course, I'm talking psychologically. Someone insults you, betrays you or whatever. I'm never upset for the reasons I think, because the reason I feel the way I do is not because of what the other, remember there are no other, the other did to me. Is because of the interpretation that the mind is doing of that which seemed to be happening outside. You see, there's no outside. See, that's the trap. So the mind uses the world of projection to hide, you see. And that's why we find ourselves reacting not to the world, but to something, to our own interpretation. But again, because I don't want to let go of the sense of identity, the one that says I am this individual, which is a thought, of course, then I have to use all the other thoughts to support that lie. And the way that thought is hidden is by projecting. In other words, I'm not noticing that I am believing the thought I am this individual, and to keep it hidden right there, I project a world, or the mind projects a world to keep the attention outside. It's like when you're sleeping. When you're sleeping, you're always sleeping. That's where you are. That's what you are at that moment, that person sleeping. I'm talking within the dream, of course. But to overlook the fact that you are always in bed sleeping and that's it, the mind projects a dream, and because the attention goes to the dream, it overlooks that the dream is only an illusion, a projection, a distraction to the only thing that is true. And what is true is the person in the bed sleeping, you see. Same thing here. So when someone seems to hurt us, obviously we have overlooked the fact that we are the totality, and now we're putting the attention outside, and that hurt that I feel is something that is in me. It's my own interpretation, and what that seeming person or other is doing is pointing to something hidden in me that I am not seeing. So when I find myself feeling hurt, I'm realizing that a feeling, a sensation has coming up. The mind is trying to interpret it, and instead of realizing, oh my God, I'm doing this to myself, like the Course in Miracles would say, the secret to salvation is but this, you're doing that unto yourself. Or the Bible would say, it's easier to see the speck in your brother's eyes than the log in yours. You see, they're always pointing to that somehow. When I feel hurt, that scenario, that scenery, which in this case, let's say, would be a person doing or saying something, whatever the case may be, it's allowing me to look at what is within me that I cannot see, and that's why I say thank you. Not because of what the person is doing or saying, that's irrelevant. There's no person out there, like there's no person here, but within the context of the illusion, I am being given an opportunity to look what's inside of me, to look at how I am allowing the mind take over the game, so that I can relax and remember that I know nothing, that life simply is, that I'm resting in what I am. And as I can do so, I can see that I cannot be affected by the world of phenomena. I cannot be affected by what anyone can be doing, and consequently, I rest in the peace that I am. And because that has been seen, also known as healed, I can rest and I can say thank you, for again, have not been because of you, I could not have seen what's in myself. That's why the world is a mirror, and the mirror does not judge, the mirror reflects. You see? That's what this journey seems to be challenging, because we are always looking at the world of phenomena, you see, not realizing that we are reacting to our own thinking, we're reacting to our own interpretations. But again, by not seeing that we projected onto the world of phenomena, it's much easier to blame for what I'm feeling. See, you're the one at fault, you're the one who did this to me. Again, you see, and again, I understand this is not a very easy pill to swallow, but the more I am willing to look at that and take full responsibility that what I am feeling has nothing to do with the world of phenomena, it has to do with my own interpretations, the sooner I can look through all of that, the sooner I can rest in the peace that passes all understanding. You see, this is very simple. It's very simple. I'm always looking at myself, not myself, little s, myself, because all that there is the self. There's nothing else, you see. And that's what we are being reminded here through these videos, that I'm always looking at myself. And in that sense, I see that if I love myself, I can perceive that in the world of, the world of perception will have their ups and downs, and you may still have people insulting or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. But when I can see through all of that, it's because I can see what is true always. Somebody asked Mother Teresa about all the people who do all this, not kind things, right? And instead of she getting into the judgment about it, she says, well, you may see that, I only see Jesus Christ in all its different disguises. You see, when we begin to drop our own judgment, especially the judgment we have, beginning with the judgment we have on ourselves, we don't want to see in ourselves, so that's why we use the witnesses, so to speak, to project onto them. When I'm looking to see the truth in me, I cannot help but to see the truth in everything. And now when I see somebody saying something or doing something that in the past would have hurt me, now I feel a sense of compassion and understanding, because I understand that that person, quote unquote person, there's no one out there, but within the context of the illusion, that person is identified with the same thought system that I was identified before, and that's why I understand how the person reacts, you see. But when I have come to the realization of who I am, that's why I become what it's called, the bringer of the light. You see, that's why you become the bringer of the light. Why? Because you have healed, you have seen through the illusion, and now you can be an example. You see, you can be an example of what is possible. For all of us, there is possible to get to know who we are, because that is our essence, but has been overlooked by our interpretations, by the meaning we're projecting onto anything, by believing our thoughts, put it this way. So through your example, you can show them that there's another way. Now, whether the quote-unquote other person is ready to accept this information or to integrate or something, that is beyond our control, you see. But your example is what helps them to see that, hey, maybe there's another way of living. And all we're doing here with these videos is not trying to teach you what to do or not to do, or that's irrelevant. These videos is about remembering constantly that we simply are, and nothing can have an effect on ourselves except our own thinking. Our own thoughts are the ones who supposedly have the power, supposedly, because thought has no power in themselves, but the meaning we give to them is what gives the illusion of that power. you see. So we're always remembering that I am, and let's put it to practice right now. Again, this is not theoretical, this is not abstract or something that will take place in the future. This is the moment, the presence, right now, right now. I'm going to ask you, right this moment, which is the only moment that there is. I mean, could be any other moment, unless you believe the thought that says, yeah, there was a moment yesterday or before, and there's a moment after. No, all that there is presence. The presence, the experience of being. This is all there is. You know, if you don't go to the mind, you notice that this is very obvious. So let's go back to the exercise, which is not an exercise; it's a way of saying on the investigation. Okay, right now, just be. You don't need to close your eyes. This is not a meditation or anything like that. It's just life. What can I say? Don't identify with any thoughts. I did not say the thoughts will not be there. They will always be there. That's what mind does. That's what thoughts are there, just like clouds. You know, the sky is never complaining about the clouds. When they are there, great. When they're not there, great too, because the sky is skying. It's just being. So right now, don't identify with any thoughts right now. Right now. Just don't identify with any thoughts. See what's left? See? Now I'm going to invite you to bring a thought that in the past may have caused you pain. Some betrayal, well, however you pronounce it. Someone who might have hurt you, someone you have some resentments or so. Bring one of those. I mean, just bring it right now. But here's a trick, okay? Don't bring it with your mind interpreting that. I said bring it as an image that appears. But don't give it any meaning. Don't get into the story that the mind is trying to conjure up. Oh, that person did this to me or this. No, just don't go there. It's just very simple, because that's just a thought anyway. It's just thoughts. Just bring that image and look at it from this space that I am inviting you. See, from the space that you are, just being. Now notice the image, even notice the action, but if a feeling comes up, thank you, great. It's an opportunity to look at what is hidden in there. I'm inviting you to look at what is inside you, not what the quote-unquote other did. Nobody has done anything. I'm simply saying, bring the image back and don't give it any meaning. Just don't project any meaning onto it, and notice what is left. If you're not really projecting a meaning onto it, and even if a feeling may come up and you don't project any meaning, then it's just a passing cloud. Notice the space in which you're resting. You see? Well, that space never changes. It's always with the image or without the image. It does not matter. It's just what is. See, that's what I'm pointing to. Rest in what is. That's what is referred to as rest in peace. Not something you put on a tombstone. It's just simply a way of living when you're not identified with the content of the mind. You see? This is the invitation. Now the question is, are you willing to let go of your sense of identity? Because if you're not willing to let go of your sense of identity, this exercise may be just like some kind of a something you put on a little wound, you know, like a little band-aid or something. That's not, you know, well, wounds will continue coming up as long as you believe you're that person, you know. So, but at least you can give yourself an opportunity to realize that there is another way of living every experience, because if you can bring that thought into mind and it's not affecting you, that proves to you that the cause of your suffering is never the other quote unquote is nothing that the world can do. The cause of all our suffering is our own identification and interpretation with our thinking. That's how we can regain the power that is inherent in us by the nature of our being, by the nature of what we are. So you see? And now every thought that comes up that seemed to trigger anything is an opportunity to be grateful, to say thank you, because it's putting me in contact with something within me that it was hidden, that I could not see. Now once again, this goes hand in hand with wanting to know who you are. See, this is not a quote-unquote solution to any problem, or to, so you can keep holding on to your sense of identity. No, no, no. Remember, this is about knowing who you are, which have nothing to do with the human experience. This is beyond that. So as this becomes, settles within, then you notice that you can live in the world with a mentality that is not of it, you see. The Buddha mentality, the Christ mentality, the peace mentality, love mentality. I don't know. It's not really a mentality, but I don't know. Words, how they are. They're always very elusive, and they can never, they're not the thing, but within the limitation of language, we try to point using words. See? So notice that you are. Now the question is that what you want? Or do you want to use this to keep holding on to your sense of identity and trying to somehow conquer the world and do the things you want to do? No, no, no. This is about knowing what I am, which is the I amness, the truth of beingness. That's it. Now, whatever happens in the world of phenomena, we don't know. Life will do whatever will do with you, but whatever it does with you, you will not be affected by the circumstances, because now you know who you are. And this is where this is pointing to. It's pointing to of the nature of beingness, and life will unfold as it will anyway. Whatever you're supposed to do, you will do anyway. The difference is that the way you will do it will be different than the way you did it when the mind was filled with all its concepts and beliefs and everything. So you still act in the world. If you're supposed to be a musician, you'll still play music. You're supposed to be an actor, you'll be acting. If you're supposed to be an engineer, you'll be engineering. If you're supposed to be a mother, a father, whatever, you will do those things, but with a different kind of mentality. That's the only difference. Until the world of illusion disappears altogether, and that's it. The world of illusion that never happened. So don't try to grab this with the mind. You don't have to worry about it. Just let's stay with what is practical and what you can use. When someone hurts you, not physically, I'm talking about psychologically, when somebody says something, when you find yourself reacting, let's put it this way, when you find yourself reacting to something, remember, you're always reacting to your own interpretations, to your own thinking, because it does not go in accord to who you think you are. But if you know that you are not a person, then whatever is thrown at you can fly right by you, because there's no place to land. There's no person, not a sense of identity on which anything can land. And then you rest in the silence, and the arrows can be shot at you, but they pass right through you, because now you see the truth in all. You see what's true. You see what is, and you don't see anything. But it's another, again, language, limitation of language. Life is seen. You rest in peace. You live happy, because you now are living in accordance of who or what you are, which you have always been. It just has been overlooked by thinking. And that's why the last book that I wrote, What is Before Any Thought? You see, what is before any thought? Being, isness, peace. But I don't like to use those words because they might have concepts of them, So what is before any thought? I am, life, your self, capital S. And I don't know, well, that's the inspiration that came through this instrument, so I hope it served. And as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can be extended.